going live here just shortly. I decided today that I was going to do a painting with just 4 colors. I'm going to move you guys just a little bit forward now. And hello and welcome. So, what we're going to do today, I've got a canvas painted black. So, I guess you could say that there are 5 colors, but we've painted this canvas black, and then I'm going to use 4 different colors, and we are just going to make a magnificent painting. So, I'm going to kind of go through the step-by-step processes with you guys. And, yeah, we'll rock it from there. So, how we're going to start is with a big 2-inch brush. And we're going to work darkest color to lightest color. So what I'm going to do, instead of covering with like a liquid clear or liquid white, what I'm going to do is really scrub and put in a base layer. Hey, thank you. Alright, I'm glad you enjoy my paintings. But we're going to put in a base layer of alizarin crimson, which will be kind of a purple-red tone. Then we're going to come in with a 1-inch brush, and we're going to play with color with reds and yellows and make some oranges. And then on top of that, we're going to take a white and brighten everything. But because it's a black canvas, I also want to take advantage of the darkness that is already here. Hey, thank you for the share. So, what we're going to first do is grab our alizarin crimson, and we are going to go ahead, plop some out on the canvas there. Now, if you guys do this at home, what I have done is already, this used to be a white canvas. I happen to have some black gesso, and I painted black gesso on there, let it dry completely, and then when you guys go to do this at home, know that getting this base coat in, it's going to look really red at first, but we are going to thin it out, and you really have to push that paint into the canvas. We're going to almost scrub it. Thank you guys for the follows. You're going to get a little free ASMR of canvas scrubbing onto a paint scrubbing onto a canvas. But we want to make sure we get this base coat in on most of the canvas. Again, I'm staying away from some of the edges with the color, but we want a thin coat. So we just kind of keep working it. And you guys can tell at home how hard I'm pressing when I have a, from my canvas, I have a line where the wood frame is behind there. Now, you could pre-tighten your canvas with a little bit of water, which I have done, but I didn't do enough, obviously. Just kind of scrubbing away here. It's an alizarin crimson, so it's almost, I know the lighting in here makes it look orange, but it is actually a red, as you can see down here. Sorry about the notifications there. But we're just gonna scrub a nice thin coat. And again, we're not worried too much about covering the edges because our highlight is going to be in the middle, coming out. Okay? So, now then, what we want to do is we're going to add some actually bright red, okay? The alizarin crimson is our base. It makes it to where we can work with color, that we can spread the oil a little easier. I mean, it acts like a liquid white, a liquid clear. It acts like some of the other oils that you would add to oil paint to make it slick. Basically, we're doing a thick on thin type painting. Hello there, and welcome, guys. I really appreciate you being here. So, with the same old dirty brush, I'm just going to go in to the bright red, and I'm going to kind of work around center, okay? Our goal is, normally you would start bright and work your way out, but because we're using a black canvas, I want to do a little bit of a different way. So I'm kind of keeping the center open for that brighter color, and I'm just feathering some of this red in. And again, we're using 4 colors, so it'll be yellow, red, alizarin, crimson, and white. And that white will really get it, this canvas to pop out. But because my brush is already dirty, I kind of want that blend of color. And so I'm just kind of working in spots the bright red in and making an oval where I will keep it brighter. So, but because we're also going to do some water, we want a little more effect of the red. But kind of have an idea where your horizon is, and just let the paint hit the canvas, guys. I mean, just have wild fun with it. It's not much here you can mess up already. Okay? So then I'm going to put my brush in. I've got a paint thinner off to the side here. And while he kind of soaks a minute, I want to thank you guys for joining me. As well, thank you for the shares and the comments. And yeah, so we're just going to have fun. Here is what they call Indian yellow, which may look real orange to you guys at home, but I assure you it's a orangish yellow type color. But we're going to pull that. I've got a new clean brush here. We're going to pull that into the brush, okay? And then we're going to fill in the center a bit, okay? Really pushing right there in the middle, a little bit here on the reflection. I know it's hard to see this paint because it's a dark translucent color, but trust me, when we get done here, we'll be able to see all the brightness and all the colors. And it's okay if some mix and there's some highlights here and there. Okay? And we'll just kind of decide, zigzag the color in, get it bright at the bottom. In fact, we'll go back in, see how little paint I used and how I'm kind of reusing it. We'll go back in and just on the edge of the brush. Thank you guys for the follows. Wow. I appreciate it. We're just feathering color in. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. And then, heck, we'll just clean up my palette pretty much. And feather and scrape some color in. No biggie. Well, thank you, Loveland Official. I hope it is going to be beautiful. I do have a feeling what it may turn out to be like, but with these kind of paintings, you never know. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to, oh, there it is. I'm going to find my 1-inch brush. Now, Now this is the part where things will get interesting. We have a bright color into a more red and darker color into black. So we do need a lot of white, but what we have to be careful about is not mixing colors into colors. Otherwise it'll all end up this yellow-orange thing. Okay? We don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do with my 1-inch brush is start with the white in the middle and feather out down here. Then I have to clean this brush thoroughly and then go into the different white and pick up these other external colors. Okay? Then clean the brush again, and then that's where a little highlight here and there goes. So we're going to do that, but one, I've got some brushes over here that I need to clean. So I've got a little slosh bucket down here, and hopefully you guys get to hear. Just yeeting the devil out of it. Okay, that's one. And that's two. Alright. Another thing after cleaning a brush that you want to do is take a rag. Get all that paint thinner out. Okay? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're loading this 1-inch brush, and we're going to start right here where we think our sun is. We're going to do these zigzag motions, back and forth, leaving some areas darker than others. We're going to flip our brush, come right back into the middle. Okay? And just let the white pick up some of those colors that we've introduced. And I know it looks fairly bright right now, but when we blend it, it'll come to a nice even color. So now then that I went into the bright area out zigzagging into the dark, I can't go back in, because otherwise I've picked up the reds and the oranges and all that. So I'm going to wash my brush real quick. And just yeet the devil out of it. Okay. Now I'm going to come back over here to some white, and I'm going to start in the middle again to make that brighter, and then I want to come down here for this reflection. Okay, it's going to be some water chopping across, but like that. Okay, we can flip it, put some white in, because we're going to blend this all out. But I really want that water to fire right across what will be our plane. I have an idea that there'll probably be a pine tree here and there, maybe a background, and then some bushes or shrubs or something over here. But again, I want this a little more brighter, not much more, and I want to save this horizon line because I'm going to come in, I'm going to clean it up and have a good horizon line. Okay, just get to eat the devil out of it. Thank you guys for the likes and the follows. Alright, coming back in, picking up more of that titanium white. And again, I really want this here bright. This is where the sun is really firing down and getting ready. Pull this color, the rest of my titanium white. I'm just going to streak across here. So when I blend it, I pick up white bright colors. Okay, there's my horizon line. There we go. We're using up our titanium white. Okay. A couple little more bright spots here and there, and then we're going to blend. Okay. So, clean my... thank you. Thank you guys for the follows, and thanks for the comments. I really appreciate the likes. Heck, 441 of you. This is so awesome. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to blend. And we're going to do it in a zigzag motion from the brightest out. We can't go dark in because that will mix our colors too much. So you just kind of zigzag lightly. And see, I'm only using a little bit of my brush right here. Okay, that's dark and stained from many uses, but as you can see, I'm just lightly zigzagging, kind of gently brushing. And we want these dark areas as well. Okay, and then you go up higher and higher. And you've got all kinds of looks to the clouds. You know, just fun. In fact, I'm gonna kind of fire out just a little bit here. That's a little too dark, so I'm gonna put just a little more color in there. No problem. I just don't want too much dark. You do want some dark, but you don't want the black to really eat up the canvas. So right there we have a very interesting sky. Hey, thank you for the rose. I really appreciate it. And yeah, 803 feathering. That's a good word for it. So now, the same with the water, but I'm going to come out each side even, right across. And you're just blending the colors together, blending the brush strokes. Okay? You don't want to push too hard, because else you do pull paint and that black shows up. But right there, we've got the start of a great water. Okay. Oh, thank you guys for the roses. Wonderlove, I appreciate that. So here now, what I think we're going to do, I want to cheat you guys a little bit closer, perhaps, so you can see a little bit better. We are now going to start with the background and foreground. And then what I'm also going to do is show you guys what you can do with an amazing palette knife. And not only are we going to kind of make a sun area, but we're going to make where the water just sparkles across. So what we're first going to do is I'm going to clean out my 1-inch brush. And then I'm also going to move to a fan brush. I think a fan brush will be really good. We're going to come in with some darker red, because that sun is just beaming, and we're going to kind of highlight like there's an inlet here. So there's 2 land masses here, and then foreground. Or perhaps, actually we'll do 1 inlet and some foreground. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Shoot. We're just going to go with the flow. Hey, thank you for saying that's the best lesson you've had ever. I really appreciate that. You know, yeah, with this style, having no idea what you're doing is great. I always say that. And 2, your creativity adds so much. Like right now, I have no idea. I didn't have in mind what we were going to do today. I just knew I was going to do a black canvas. So, but here's what I'm going to do with that fan brush. Is I'm going to tap in, and I'm following that black underneath, right, as a horizon line. And I'm kind of tapping in Like we've got some autumn, fall trees in the background. Okay? And we're going to put a little bit down here for reflection. And we'll make up our mind where the exact split is, but I have a feeling right around there. But we're just going to put in a gentle background. Maybe chop up by touching the fan brush and turning it. Just chop the idea of some trees, you know, something off in the distance there. Just kind of push harder as you want. Hey, thank you, CalStar, for the roses. And Charlene, yeah, I never have vivid ideas. I just have a brief idea, and I make it work. So, I feel you. So here again, we're going to do the same thing, just using the corner of the fan brush. Just popping in what looks like. And this one's going to be a little closer in the horizon. We're going to make these trees maybe a little bigger, a little taller. We're just kind of popping up and down, really. And we'll leave some of that dark in there. And that way I can come in, split my horizon line, and then even break it up if I wanted to. Having one here and one here. But yeah, we're just popping in the idea of something far, far, far back in the distance. Yeah, I know, letting oil paint dry is literally, that's where the term watching paint dry came from. It's annoying to me, but I know when I'm finished with the painting that it's okay. I can let it dry and hang it on the wall for a while before I gift it or before I sell it. Alright, I'm just gonna brush this out a little bit. I know you guys can't see it, but somehow I got a little of my paint thinner on there and it was starting to run. Alright, so now what we're going to do with the alizarin crimson, we're going to build a tree. I know how much you guys love those trees, so we're going to pop that in. Hey, thank you that you're relaxed by this. I am as well. It's great. Okay, tell you what, let's get nutty with it. Big old, we'll just follow that line right there. We're going to put a big old tree. It's going to be just on fire when I put some orange in and some white. Using the side of the brush, I'm just kind of zigzagging, tapping here and there. And then we get wider. Flip that brush if you're out of paint. We're going to get wider and wider. Off to the side here. Shoot. Let's make this fellow a little bigger so he hides some of that darker paint that's on the canvas, the gesso. But there we go. Hey, thank you guys, and you know, you can always show support to me as an artist by following me here, checking out my YouTube, my Instagram. Alright, we're going to put him a little buddy right here. Small little guy. Just to eat up some of that darkness. Because we're going to make it look like when at the end the water is out here and then it's going to come here. Okay? So maybe this will be the shore bank right there. Or just pop it in. No idea. Again, just pressing in color because we're going to make things really pop here in just a hot minute. But one thing I forgot to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do it now, so we need to put that shoreline in I was talking about. I covered up half of it there. But what I'm going to do is get a nice little roll of paint that I got. Hey, thank you, horror something, Susan. It passed on me. Thank you. What I'm going to do, that little roll of paint, and we're going to cut in sparkle right there, and we'll let it kind of drift off here right before that tree. Just using the knife and cutting across, putting some wave sparkles, or you know, the sun's just beaming right across. Okay, I'm just gonna clean a couple of these up here. What's fun is you can just zigzag them out. If you mess up, clean off your knife and zigzag them out. Hey, thanks for the share. And yeah, I kind of heard the words came out of my mouth there too. Country, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Horgal Susan, my apology. It flew by so quickly. Sorry. Anyway, just gonna cut in a line. Sometimes I like to use the top of the knife with the paint to get my rough sketch of where I'm gonna go, and then that's when I can turn it a little bit and cut in, and the paint will actually kind of stick there. Okay, but sometimes I just want a little paint to get the idea of where these waves and water lines will be. Okay, so I'm going to cut in just a few more. You know, sunlight likes to play and get bigger and just dance across the water here and there. Just put some color there, make it wide, right there. Okay, I'm going to kind of go with that for a second. Hey, thank you for the roses. I really appreciate that so much. Clean this brush out. This 1-inch brush. Oh, again, Tiffany, thank you as well. LPD, Frienderbender. God, you guys are awesome. Wow. Hey, that's so great. I want to let you guys know when my account gets enough money in it on TikTok, I'm just blending these lines out a little bit. I don't want them that vibrant, but anyway, I'm going to cash it all out and spend it on literally nothing but art supplies so I can constantly go live. As some of you know, art supplies are expensive, so yeah, it'll be nice to have enough to take to my local art shop and spend it like a big roller. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I decided I want a little bit more foreground to break this up, as if these are like different. You're on a river or a lake and there's different inlets. So we have our foreground inlet. I'm going to put one right here, but in order to do that, I need to pull a little bit of this paint, and I know it goes into dark, but I just need to pull it out a little bit more. That way, this island will create the shadow that's naturally in the canvas. Okay? So, got that done. Hey, that's awesome that you get the learner kit. Hey, you're in Omaha. Awesome. I'm in Lincoln. So, welcome. Good to see or know that I'm reaching locally. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop in a small little tree here. Nothing major. And I'm going to come in. I might make them bigger, but we'll see. I'm going to come in and do like an inlet here. Like a little landmass. And as you can see, I'm just pushing my fan brush on there, and it's creating all kinds of little greenery, grass, shrubby type stuff. We'll come out to there. That'll be fine. And you want it lighter on the edge and then darker as you get away from that sun. Okay? So, wow, 186 of you here. That's so awesome. I tell you what, let's make this tree just a little bit bigger. Okay? See how we just took that line up? And we'll make this guy, I just got some extra paint here. Honestly, that's the only reason I want to use it up. So just come across and make this guy scraggly old tree. He wish he was on this side of the bank with his friends. But then we'll put a little dark color down in the water for reflection. We'll come back and blend that, but we want to keep some of that dark, that black, that mystery. Okay? So I'm gonna strengthen this guy a little bit. Make him a good little baby brother tree. Alright. So now, hey, thank you for the share. Pennsylvania, wow, welcome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little in here for reflection. Nothing major, again. I'm going to take my 1-inch brush, clean it for just a second. Just wiping some of the brightness out. I'll kind of pull this red color down like so, and then gently go across like that, just so you get a little bit of the idea of reflection, and that this tree is so hardy it's kind of in the shade blocking it out, you know, can't quite see it, no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to cut in a water line, we're going to do some highlights, and then I think we're going to wrap this painting up. So again, little roll of paint. We're going to come out here, scratch just a baseline in, make it rough, and then as you know, the shadow is going to cut that light a lot, so we don't want too much more brightness over there. Okay, then we can come in here. Forgot to clean my knife. Let me blend that. Oh, shoot, we're happy little accident right there. No problem though. No problem at all. Okay, I'm going to clean my knife and kind of scrape up the rest of this white and orange and different color I have here. And because the sun's up here, we're going to change directions. I'm going to use this edge of the knife, okay? Because I like that edge. Now it takes a bit to load, but I like that edge because then I can give smaller broken sun lines, okay? So we're just dancing some little tiny reflections. And don't worry, here in a sec, I'll brighten that sun, and then we'll really have it, okay? But let me get all this paint scraped up, get a nice little pile, and then I'm gonna pull off to the side like that, get some hardy paint on there, and I'm just gonna tap and pull. Oop, scrape there a little bit, but unload, load back up, and we're just gonna tap some sun reflections like it's really breaking up across, just like so. But here we want to make them a little bit smaller, a little closer defined. If we don't like something, we can always wipe it out, no big deal. Hey, thank you. I'm so glad that you guys like it so far. In fact, I'll say this line here, that's a little too much, so we'll just blend it out. No problem. Yep, blend it out. It's cool. Okay. So you have the sun really beaming across, then clipping here and here, and then it really clips a tiny bit there. Okay. And actually, what I'm going to do before we go highlight, I know I keep saying again highlight. I'm just going to blend these straight across a little bit. Both sides, pull that color. Whoop, flip my brush, there we go. I want to break that up. I want a little bit of darkness to show that there is light. I mean, without darkness, there is no light. So, alright, now what we're going to do, in that same white color, I'm going to kind of clean my brush, because I'm going to utilize it here in a sec, because I'm going to clean it off with my paint thinner. And then we're going to come in with an orange-white color, okay? And then I want some of that red as a dark color. Okay, where shall we go? Alright, we're going to get some Indian yellow. Boop. And to that, we're going to add some titanium white, wherever my white went. There you are. Boop. Just a dab. A dab will do. Okay. Clear my art space here a second. We're going to mix these colors. And I've got some paint thinner on my fan brush. I don't have too much. Blot it out if you feel like you have too much. But we're going for a real orange color, highlight color. Yeah, that'll make those branches sparkle. So, just go across where you think the sun would glisten. Obviously, you want to be stronger on the sun side. And go darker as you go down. Just tiny bits of highlight really can help define. You can see I'm barely touching. Okay, so I'm going to load up again, get this nice color. Boop. And just go back and forth across your tree, leaving those shadow areas. And as you go down and get darker, put some just pulling up on the fan brush. You can make some grass, like so. In fact, we'll highlight that a little bit more so you guys can see. You just pull up from the base and you get that feeling that there's grass in front of those trees. The sun's barely hitting right off there. Okay? So, hey, thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate it. Okay, so this side is going to be a little bit brighter, and we want to touch up here, and then we'll call this one done. So I've got my orange color. I came back into some yellow. Heck, I got some extra white. Really want to make it a little bit brighter than that one there. So I'm just touching bits of the tree, bits and bobs that you know, the branches that are reaching out, try to get that sunlight and pop across. Okay? But we don't want to cancel out too much of the dark color. Alright. And thank you. I'm glad that you find this amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, with the fan brush on the top of these, we're just going to pop in and push up, putting a little bit of highlight here and there. Not too much. We still want that darker color. In fact, heck, if we wanted to here, we could make this tree pop out right over that grass. So, getting some sun. This guy's crooked facing the sun. The sun is finding its way right between the trees. Just like that. Alright, now as stated, I'm going to go ahead and put us in a little bit of the sun. And with that, I'm going to use a little tiny daub of titanium white. Okay? Just the tiniest of daubs. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Alright, so I'm just taking I got this, I don't even know what kind of brush they call it. I think it's a square brush, square head. We're just going to dab in right at the horizon. A half little sliver of a sun there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, it can be broken up because we can also blend it back out if we get too carried away. Okay, I want to highlight just on the outside like that sun's coming across. It's got to come on top. And heck, if anything, we can always feather and blend out what color we don't like. Just gently touch. Boom. And on the edge, I'm going to pull around, make that the brightest. just like that. Got a nice little sun there. Okay, I'm going to load up and touch just a little bit here and there with some white to define these clouds and make them pop a little bit more so they're not lost in the darkness. And feather and blend them out just a little bit. Introduce just a little brightness into the dark. You know, hey, Flaherty Rising, thank you so much. Yeah, and this is all from a black canvas. You know, today I really needed to hop online and paint. I needed some light out of the darkness. For those of you who are pet owners, I unfortunately had to lay to rest my 19-year-old cat, Everett. Sad. Yesterday was sad. And, you know, I'm going through a little bit of darkness right now. But to be able to paint for you guys and to be able to share and cope and work through my emotions, it's very awesome. And I'm blessed for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys. I wasn't quite ready for it, and everything progressed really quickly. But today I told myself, you know, yesterday I had the day and I grieved, and today I told myself that I needed to paint. So you guys get to be part of the process. You know, usually I'm not a user 384, I feel you. And yes, 19 years, and the vet who's been with him his whole life came out afterwards and said, you know, he's been my favorite, oldest, grumpy old man kitty. So it was so kind of her to step out and take time with me. Yeah, so today I wanted to kind of just have a moment to paint and to grieve and to put a little brightness in a dark day. That was yesterday. So what I'm doing is just touching up. I feel like I want a little more brightness. So I'm popping in a little titanium white with my knife here and there, just letting the canvas kind of pull what it wants. And just creating that cool horizon. And I'm sorry I can't get to every comment, guys. Obviously, I'm painting, so I'm facing my canvas, and I don't have a monitor set up in front of me, but oh, and thank you. And sorry I mispronounced your name. But thank you so much. Yeah, the old boy's name was Everett. I found him as a kitten on a street named Everett, and he was a male, so I thought, wow, that works out for a good name. Old gray kitty. But yeah, today is my first day without him. Actually, normally when I'm painting, he's sitting near me or around me on the floor or on the bed looking at me wondering what the hell I'm doing. But anyway, you know what? I'm going to quit fiddling. I'm totally going to quit fiddling. I'm going to show you guys a nice close view here, so you can see how bright, oh, thank you, Steph, how bright this painting is. Now my studio lights play quite a bit of trick on the eye, so I'm going to turn the light a little bit. I can't contradict it too much because I have LED light above me. But I think you guys then now get the general idea of the colors that you can see. It's a very bright sunset lapping over a lake. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for the roses, and thank you for the tips. Horror Gal Susan, thank you. That is horror. And Flair Dirty Rising, thank you for the comment. But yeah, so I basically wanted to, today jump on and paint and cope, but as well show you guys how easy, oh man, thank you for the roses, I really appreciate it. Show you how easy this process is, how you guys can literally start doing this. Thank you for the roses, both Wondervent Love and Sedora. But within, basically an hour, I think, or less than an hour here, I have painted. Now, this is a smaller canvas, and I did take my time explaining to you guys the step-by-step process. But when I'm, a man on my mission, oh gosh, when I stand in front of it, boy, that gets powerful, doesn't it? But hey, thank you for the rose. But when I'm a man on a mission, I can sit down, I can do this canvas in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I can do a 16 by 20 in less than an hour. My goal eventually is to get to 18 by 24 and do that in 27 minutes. That's my goal, because I would love to instruct for a living. Viewers at home, instruct them. Fellow artists who want to learn a new technique. Yeah, I love teaching. I love teaching people. Anyone who comes to me and says, hey, I can't paint, well, I'm about to prove you wrong, because you can. So, anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed. 4 colors only. Again, that was a alizarin crimson that I put over a black canvas. Then we had some bright red and some Indian yellow and white. So, using darker colors and adding brighter color, like a white, really makes a painting pop. And then with the black canvas, you get those automatic dark shadows. This is like a sunrise on a very stormy, gloomy night. So yeah, I kind of love pieces that you're not sure, is it sunset and the storm is coming in, or is the sun rising on a stormy night. But, and of course with this too, I could have used different colors. I could have come in and done a more natural look with greens and yellows and blues and stuff like that. But I wanted to challenge myself today for 4 colors. Hey, I'm glad you found me as well. I really appreciate it. All the new followers, all the new commenters. Now I'm kind of having a minute where I can read you guys, your comments, and interact with you a little bit more. Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free and hit me up. I can answer. And Red Panda, yeah, I would love to teach you in a class. Eventually what I would like to do is have enough people interested. I'll send out an email of the supplies you need to purchase, have a date, do a Zoom class. I used to teach acrylic classes, about 30 people at a time in, what brand of paint do I use? 1980 Gamblin has been great for this process. I don't really want to pump another product, but you guys happen to know it. He has a fro. But also there's a company called Bill Alexander, alexanderart.com. He taught Bob Ross everything. And he did PBS shows, and he was this awesome, crazy German painter. He actually has, and he's long since passed, but his name carries on in brushes and paint. So that's one place you could start. Sonora. You also take a shot. You could also just purchase a Bob Ross starting kit. I've done that. I understand the greed in the Netflix thing, but it's a good place to start. However, Gamblin 1980 is a great brand to pick up paints. I don't know if I'm going to start another painting. I could possibly. I like to keep my lives under an hour, just because I do have to clean up. But I may come back tonight and paint again. So kind of follow and stay tuned. Again, I really appreciate you guys joining me. I will say that with that, I'm going to call this painting done. I do initial them. However, I wait a day or two, because if I initial here, I may not like it. If I initial there, I may not like it. I let it dry a day or two and then go, oh, that's a perfect spot for it. But I'm going to go for the night. I appreciate all the tips, all the follows, the comments. I really appreciate those who have, sent their sympathy for my trying time today and yesterday. But yeah, stay tuned, folks. I'm grateful for each and every one of you that have come in. And with that, I will say to everyone, yeah, you're welcome. Positivity is the only way to be in life. I've been on the negative side of the track, and boy, I'm grateful that I decided to take 2 steps over to the good side and be positive. Positivity is a way of life. So on that note, I'm going to end on a positive note. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for joining me. Take care, happy painting, and stay tuned for more. Again, follow my socials. I'm going to pick up on my YouTube. I'm going to do lives there, here, and record more for YouTube. TikTok's just been easy, but my Instagram I'm always active on. So, all right, horror gal Susan.